Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Hope you are having a great day. If you're watching this live or on the replay, and there you go. So, hi, everyone. This is DRT with Coaching with DRT, and I am really excited to share with you this topic today about visualizing. But before I get started, for those who don't know me, I am a life coach who specializes in personal growth. So I help my clients move from where they are to where they want to be in life. And I also help them identify those things that are preventing them from being where they want to be or doing what they want to do. So I've been on doing this series, and for the last this is the third week already. So for the last 3 weeks, this is week three. I've been doing a series on transition, and part of that is because I have transitioned to new states 4 times in my lifetime, and so I know that there are some things that I have learned by transitioning. There are some tips that I can give, and there are some things that I want to share with you as well. So, this is segment number 5. And so, I'm going to just do a recap very quickly of the previous segments that I talked about. So, the first one was we've been talking about transitioning and what you need to do, and also the different phases, things like that. So the first one was about praying and asking God for guidance, and then listening to what He said. I talked about that. I talked about how I knew I wanted to move to another state after being in Alabama for a while, and I really thought it was Georgia. And then after more prayer and more seeking God, I discovered that it was Texas. So that was the first one we talked about that. The second one that we talked about was about planning, and how if you don't plan, you will fail, and how planning is so important because it helps you to. This is even before you pick your city, so you know what what state you want to go to, or maybe you even know what city you want to go to. So before you pick your house or where you want to live, before you pick that particular company or that job, but you know you want to transition out of your current company. Before you do all that, just thinking about timing. So when you think about planning, think about timing. Think about the dependencies that you have. Are you dependent on like your kids' schooling if you're moving to another state or another city, or depending on your spouse's workload or your own workload as well, right? So that was number two. And then our third segment was about research and how research is so key, because many times we are in this state of transition and we know we need transition, but we don't spend the time researching. And how when we research, we get um, we get information and we become aware. So our awareness increased because now we have done the research, we've learned more things. And we talked about in that segment how YouTube, Google, um, testimonials from your friends and family, those are ways you can research. And what I really shared during that one was about how I did a lot of research through different like neighborhood sites as well as um, YouTube. And that's how I was able to narrow down the 2, 3 cities that I was thinking about going living in. So I am moving from the state of Alabama to the state of Texas and moving to the Dallas Fort Worth area, right? And so there are so many cities in that metro area. And so it's important for me to do the research to figure out where I want to live. I have family there. They all live in different cities. There was not one city that was like, I want to be where the majority of family is because everybody's everywhere. But I knew I wanted to be certain things that I wanted. And so I had to think about that. So that was number three. And then our fourth segment was about letting go and how transitioning, especially when you're moving, it's an opportunity to let go of material things that no longer serve its purpose. Letting go of things that no longer are of value to you. And you some things we hold on to because they're sentimental, but we have to ask ourselves. And the question that I asked myself during, and I shared this in that segment was, is this beneficial for my next chapter? Is this something I want to take into my next chapter of my life? And so I shared this. This is so funny because I shared about um, word art. Like, I love word art. And so when I was going through my divorce and I stayed in a room with one of my friends, at her house, I went to a store and just bought some word art to hang around. And the word art was very affirmative, right? It was about, I am courageous, I am bold, or I am loved, and I am worthy, and things like that. Because I was working on my self confidence and I was working on loving myself again because of what I had gone through and how much I had given up. And so for me, it was all about, I was in that stage or that chapter of my life. Then when I moved from Illinois to Alabama, and I got my own place and I started thinking about what I was really looking for things still in that zone that was still edifying and things that would encourage my heart because I was still healing and I still wanted to every day walk out and see something that said, this message that reminded me that I was going to be okay. So there were word art that said things like, the sun will come out tomorrow, to don't give up. The person who, I think I had one that said, like, the person um, who wins is the person who never gives up, things like that. So that was the word art that I had in the place I am now. And so it's funny because the last segment I was talking about the letting go and the word art. And I had at that point, and you see behind me, see, I have my boxes already set because the movers are coming tomorrow. So last week and I spent time just going through things, and I want to donate some things to a nonprofit that has a resale store, and they really help people who have been in sex have been trafficked. So I really want to give things to them. So I started piling up, the things I was going to give away, like clothes and shoes and things of that nature. And then I also had a pile of word art and artwork. And I remember this conversation about or this segment about giving up things, letting go of things, or seeing like this was great for that last chapter, but now with this new chapter, this really doesn't serve any purpose. And I was going through my word art, and I'm telling you, I probably had about 20 pieces of different um, artwork that I buy from different stores and everything, and I kept probably about 5. And so I went through them and I was like, "Oh, I don't need this anymore because I feel confident, I feel worthy, I feel loved. Um, I'm not doubting who I am anymore, so I don't need that one." So I gave that to this organization because I felt like, you know what, there's somebody that's gonna go in the store, right? And they're gonna be looking for it. They're gonna be looking around, they're gonna see something that says, "You are worthy and loved," and they're gonna say, "I need that right now because I don't feel worthy or I don't feel loved." And so that's why letting go is so important because it's not just for you. Letting go is for you to bless other people. And if you don't, or if you're not able to, and you hold on to things, just think about the people that are waiting for that, are, desiring something. And if they could just find it in a store or find it in a resale shop or find it somewhere and they get blessed from it, it's been a domino effect. It blessed you during your time and now you bless other people. So we talked about letting go, which was the fourth segment. So today, so when I started this, I was 3 weeks away from moving, and now I am one day, maybe 2 days, 2 days, because the tomorrow, which right now is Thursday evening, so Friday morning, the movers are coming to get the things behind me. And tonight I have to like do some things as well. And then on the next day, early Saturday morning, I will be driving to my new home, Dallas Fort Worth area, and I will be sleeping in my new place on Saturday night. So super excited about that. So today's segment number 5 is about visualizing. So what I've been doing with these segments is to have um, present them with questions. So each segment had 3 questions. So I will read the question, then I'm gonna answer, and that'll be the way I tell my story. But before I go on, I do have a quick question for you. Do you sit and take time and visualize? Like, are you a what do you call it? Because I used to do this a lot when I was a kid. I used to dream, or what do they call it? Daydream. Do you daydream? So share in the chat. Let me know. Do you daydream? Do you just or just sit and just think about your future or something that you want to do and you can see it? And that's what visualizing is. So the first question is, how do I want to feel in my new city and home? So at this point, I've went through the process. I prayed, and it's been confirmed where I need to go. I planned the timing, so I kind of knew when I wanted to move. And then I started to research on where, like what city. I already knew the state, I knew the area in that state, but now what specific city that I want to call home. And then I started to pack and let go of some things and give away things as well. So now I'm 2 days away from being in my new city. But before then, months ago, I would actually, once I picked the city, I would actually start thinking about how do I want to feel. And for me, I just wanted to feel, I don't know, I wanted to feel really like, I want to feel blessed, if that's a feeling, right? And I wanted to feel that I was able to, that I made the right decision. I want to feel that confirmation. I wanted to feel happy and full of joy. So I wanted to wake up and just be like, I'm here, and look forward to each and every day, and look forward to whatever's going to come my way. Right. I would just want to feel all those things. So for me, I want to feel safe. So when I thought about my new city, my new home, I really want to feel safe, and I wanted to feel a lot of energy. So one of the things that I wanted, because one of the cities that I was looking at had a couple of lakes, and so one of my desires was to have a place that had a lake view, and that became important. And one part of the reason that became important because when I first moved to Alabama, my first apartment was a had a view, was right along the lake. So I could sit out in my balcony on my little patio and then see the lake. I could open my windows and see the lake. And then I could be at work. I could work like this. And like right over there was my window and it would be the lake. And so I didn't realize before how much that was healing for me. Like seeing the water, um, having the water outside my apartment, it just really it is something. And so when I decided to downsize and move into a different unit, I no longer had the lake view. And I know it impacted me just a little bit, but it also made me realize that that's what I want. Like I want to be by water. So part of me, my visualization was thinking about when I wake up in the morning, I visualize me opening the blinds and there's the lake. I visualize me walking around the lake if I wanted to. I visualize me going to sit outside and there's the lake that I'm looking at. So that was one of the things that I visualized was feeling safe, feeling happy, feeling joyful, um, feeling loved. I wanted to feel loved in my new city because I felt like in my new city it would give me the opportunity to meet new people and build friendships and community. And then also the fact that I have family there, I just automatically feel love and that I'm going to this place where family's already there. and they're looking forward to me coming. So that is one of the other things as well. The next question is, what do I want to be doing in my new home and city? So for me, one of the things is I work remotely, so it was not about like I want to be working at a different company because I I didn't visualize that at all. I visualized being able to work and go to the window and there's the lake. So that was a big thing. But the what I want to be doing, and because as I mentioned in I think the first or second video, part of my reason for choosing Dallas Fort Worth is because the church that I've been an e-member of is physically there. And so for me, I visualize going to church service on Sundays and Wednesdays and being a part of it on a regular basis, physically being in the building. And that's not what I have right now. And so the other thing I visualize me doing is being able to host and facilitate mastermind classes in a conference room around people, which I do my job remote. I facilitate training sessions remotely or virtually, I should say. I host webinars virtual. So I'm always in this virtual space like I am right now. It's just part of my last 3 years is just being, and I haven't transitioned to being in person. And so for me, when I visualize what I will be doing, it is hosting and facilitating, well, facilitating webinars that are in person with a group of people in the room, hosting mastermind classes and facilitating mastermind classes with people in the room, right? Then the other thing is I want to have, you know, get-togethers with people and have them come over and be in the room. So those were 3 things that I felt like I wanted to be doing, and I wanted to be out. So I wanted to be out walking, out enjoying the weather. I wanted to be out enjoying restaurants, enjoying going to the movies, things like that. I was visualizing myself doing as well. And then last but not least, what does my future look like in my new city at home? And so for me, when I started to visualize my new how what my future looked like, it looked very promising. It looked amazing. It looked like this was going to be a really great chapter in my life. So for me, it was all about not just um the here and the here. It was like, what is the future? What are some things that I can begin to do? And so one of the things that I did is between the groups that I'm a part of a few groups on Facebook. I'm a master leadership um, member, certified member. So I started putting it out there to people, to these groups, and say, "Hey, I'm moving to Dallas area. Who lives there? Can we connect? Can we meet up?" And so I already have like events on my calendar and things to do already, and I haven't even got there yet. And so that makes me feel good. And that to me is going to be like a domino effect. I'm gonna meet people, introduce me to more people, and it just keeps going until at the point where I'm like, okay, I'm good. I have a lot of people that I'm getting to know, but I had to really visualize that, and I think that visualization is key. And for me, like I'm part of a group that we do a vision board every year. And I wrote on my vision board, and maybe I'll show it because I need to take it off the wall. But I wrote on my vision board for 2023, new city, new home, and some other things. And to be, 9 months later, that will happen in January. So to be in September now, and to see that I'm going to a new city is amazing. It's like I did it. And part of that was because I started to visualize me being in a new city. I didn't know where. I kind of thought I knew, but I wasn't totally sold on that. But I didn't really know where. I just knew that it was going to be time for me to transition. And so once I found the place and everything, and visualizing like what that looks like, it was very good for me. It has helped me to continue to visualize and continue to wonder and think about the possibilities. And I think also visualization helped me during my divorce because there were times when I lay in the bed and I get up that morning and I go, I don't see how this is going to get better. I just don't. I can't see 3 months from now. I can't see even 30 days from now. I don't see it, but I know I need to force myself to daydream. I need to force myself to visualize what my life could look like. Well, not could look like, what my life will look like once I have gone through the healing process and everything from my divorce. I felt like if I can just imagine what it could look like, I can get there. And what's interesting is that when I was going through all of that, I used to pray that God would get me back to where I was before I got married. Because I was like, man, I know before I got married, I had this job, I was making this amount of money, I had this going for me, I had all these friends, and I had this and I had that, and I felt this way, and I was in my spiritual gifts, like all these things, right? And then when I think it was maybe a month or two ago, I was reflecting, and God was like, you're not only where you used to be, but you're better than who you were 10 years ago or 11 years ago. You're better. So I would say, I would encourage anyone, watching and listening to, know that you have, number one, know that God has a plan for you. Number two, realize that at the end of the day, we just gotta have some hope, and we gotta be able to daydream. And think about when you were a kid, you used to just daydream to either escape something going on in your house or just to be a different person. And how do you do it? So that is segment number 5. And so um I will be doing my last segment in my new city because again I am 2 days away. So, 1 day away from the movers coming tomorrow morning to get all the things that are behind me, and then another day to make that drive. Next so 4 days from now, I guess, so next Tuesday, I will come live, and share with you the last segment of my transition journey, which is going to say, it's time. And I will share with you the 3 questions that I had around the time and things that I had to consider about the day of move. And plus, what's really cool about that too is that I will have some experience this and to share with you how day or not day one, but move day actually went. I will be able to let you know that as well, right? So that it's going to be a great segment because you get to see my new my new home behind me, and you also get to get that. We'll also put all the segments together and show you, share that with you as well. So I definitely appreciate all of you joining me on this video, and I hope that it was of value to you. If you have any questions, definitely reach out. If there's anything that you want to comment on, please put those in the chat. And and I don't have my slide today, but I am hosting a mastermind class coming up in about 4 weeks, in maybe 3 weeks now, but it's going to be in October, and it's about personal growth. So if that piques your interest and you want to know more about it, send me a DM message. I will get back to you. But I'm going to end our time today by saying keep going, keep growing, keep moving forward. Bye for now, and I will see you when I get to my new home. Talk to you later. Bye.